with the ramp up towards this season, considering your winter was pretty short?
Yeah.
How different is that?
Yeah, new for a lot of people, new for us over the past couple of years, and you try to stay ahead of some things that other teams have dealt with. You talk to a lot, I talk to other managers that have been in that situation and kind of how they approach the winter, how they approach the spring, and just staying in touch with the guys, really. There's so many people that go into the decision making of who starts to throw when, who starts to play when, and then you throw the WBC in, which is a wrinkle in itself too. And you have a lot of our big name guys playing in that. So it was a little tricky, but it was, it happened so quick. The day after the World Series, it's free agency, and you start thinking about this year. So definitely short. I remember being on some Zoom calls that next week with free agents, and just a little bit different than what we were used to. But I feel like we accomplished what we wanted to in spring.
Okay. Now, tell me, do you, well, I'm sure you have a plan for it, but do you anticipate any kind of a lull to start off with, considering the fact that you went so far?
A lot of people have asked me that, and I don't. I think that if anything, again, I don't want to speak. I haven't been in that boat before, but if you win it, maybe there's a little bit of a World Series hangover. There's still a chip on the shoulder with a lot of guys, being so close and not ultimately achieving what we wanted to do. And I think that we have the right people in the room to not let those things happen. There's going to be ups and downs and ebbs and flows throughout the year, and you want to get off to a good start. Just looking at things historically, it's really is how you finish, not how you start. And I think if we just do things that we did last year to make us pretty consistent and sustainable every single night, we'll be just fine. And the personalities of the guys, I think, are a big driving force in that.
Toolbox, yours personally, with the last year, add a couple of tools in your toolbox for this year.
Yeah, I think, with anything, reps are great, and reps in high stakes, high pressure situations are great, both for me, for the coaches, for the players that were on the biggest stage the game has to offer. And you learn a lot about your process, you learn a lot about your demeanor, your communication style, and I think that going into a regular season, there's a lot less hoopla than there is in the playoffs or World Series, and how to manage your day. But I think in terms of me really trying to lean into the open lines of communication, just continue to do that as much as I can, continue to build relationships with new guys that are here and have them understand my train of thought and decisions that I make and why. And I found that really helped last year with getting everyone on the same page. So it's going to be more of that, learning how to just trust. Once you do that, I think there's data, there's objective numbers, and you have to understand them and have that as part of your decision-making process. But you really understand the people that are coming into certain situations too. So for me, that will help, I think. And for the guys that were in those situations, I think those spots will be a little bit slower and a little bit easier to handle.
There we go.